Mike Walker couldn't be here today, but he's our Unit 9 representative. Monica Abruzzo, she is our organizing chair. She's now at the new employee orientation meeting, trying to recruit new members and welcoming them to the union. And she'll be here shortly. Mary Kendall is our secretary. Mary is over there in the far tent over there. And Don Moreno, there he is, Unit 5 representative. As far as our staff, we have Nick Verts sitting at this table, who is also going to be a guest speaker. And thank you, Nick. And as another guest that we have is Sam Tran. Sam Tran is here representing APC, another union here. He's going to come up and speak in a little bit. And then our guest from headquarters is Rocky Sanchez. She's our Vice President of Representation. For those of you that participated in the bargaining session that we had here early on in the bargaining of our contract, she was one of our guests and helped us to get the contract that we have today. So she's going to be speaking about some, basically the state of the union. So I just wanted to make some quick announcements regarding being a steward for the union. I want to welcome 3 individuals, or 2 actually, that have received their certification as being certified stewards for the union. So if I can have Ted come up. Ted, is Ted here? Ted, okay. How about Cheryl Tan? Cheryl Tan, there she comes, okay. Have you seen Ted?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, Ted Moy is coming. That's okay. That's okay. So on behalf of the chapter, I want to thank you guys for taking the steward training, and I am very honored to present you with your certification as stewards. Cheryl Tan, thank you so much and congratulations. And Ted Moy. Yeah. Thank you so much. That type of training is open to anyone that wants to volunteer and help out. They are now certified stewards that can represent employees here, which is a vital part of what we do. So thank you very much for that. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about was a training opportunity that's going to be coming up in August. I don't know if you remember that we had evaluation training a while back. And that is now available on YouTube and our chapter website. We have a chapter website and also Facebook presence. So it's chapter 306 CSUEU for both Facebook and YouTube. And you can get the training for the evaluations online using those websites. In August, we're going to have IRP training, August 16th. So keep an eye out for emails that are going to be announcing those activities. Please take advantage of those trainings because they're very useful. We get a lot of training opportunities available to us, not only on this campus, but also through the CSU main website, csueu.org. Any questions about the training? No? Okay. All right, so I want to welcome the first guest, Sam Tran. Sam and I have been working together on many issues. You may have heard that the Supreme Court has passed a decision about Janus. That is something that's uniting all the unions on our campus and all government unions. So Sam's not going to talk about that, but he's just here as a guest because we are now joining together because we've always worked together on joint efforts and we benefit from each other's support. So please welcome Sam Tran.
Thank you, Diego. And my name is Sam Tran. It is an honor to be here and have a good food and talk to all of you. Who are we in APC? Basically, if you're working in the office, if your colleague is not CSU most likely they are APC. So what do? We are the people that who go out on the field and we bring in student here, and we admit the students, we evaluate them, we advise them, and we helping them outside the classroom, like student life, another counseling piece like Excel, EOP. So we help them with student graduate, and then we graduate them and post the degree. So mainly it's the recruiter, the student life advisor, or the academic advisors, all the evaluators on campus. That's who we are. We have about 160 members on campus at East Bay. So compared to what you're seeing right now, we're only a fraction of what you guys have. So that's why we need to work together. That's how important that is. So when you go back to the office, if you work with a colleague that say, oh, if you're not CSU EU, most likely they are part of APCs. The reason I'm here today is talk a little bit about how we work together and become stronger. Membership is one of the most important things that we need to keep on working on that. How many of you here are full members? Not a lot. Full, I don't know, join the member or pay the memberships, whatever you call that. Because in APC, whether you join or not, we still take 1% of your paycheck. And then that paycheck, it doesn't go to my salary. So I work on campus. I work at ACE. I'm an academic advisor, so a little bit about myself. So we appreciate that people step up being a steward because we do not get paid. We just do it voluntarily on top of our full-time positions. Is something, I'm sorry, do I need to speak louder or something? Yes, please. Okay, does anybody hear me in the back? I don't want to, yes? Okay. If I'm yelling, you please let me know because I don't meant to yell, but I've been hearing people say they did not hear what I'm saying. So who then? I lost my thought already. Yes, memberships. So that's how important that we work together because if you're thinking about, okay, I don't want to pay the memberships, maybe you save, I don't know, $10, $20, but what's this membership meant? Because you have a group of people that really helping you to keep an eyes on what's going on, helping you to keep the benefits that you have and keeping us to help to fight more. Let me give you some example right now. So we're talking about how many people plan to retire from the systems? Let's put it that way. Not that many, right? Okay, so if you plan to retire systems, all of it here for a reason. I don't know if some of you want to be here for a couple of years and leave, or you wanted to say, I want to test this out and see how it goes, but I wanted to retire from the systems. It doesn't matter what, but here's a couple of things that you want to keep in mind, okay? For sure, we agree that we don't got paid enough. I'm not sure if anybody here say, I'm so happy with what I'm making, I'm so happy, and I got paid good salary. Anyone? No, right? And here's another example I want to give you. When I first started here at the CSU systems, the president of a university, they make about 100,000 something. You know what's the average they're making right now? 400. I would say 300. Don't go that far, right? So they make an average about 100 something to 300 something. If you start here that in the 90, if you make about 2,000 something, are you making 6,000 something right now? How many in that position that you're making 2,000 something in the 90, now you're making 6,000 something? No. So why would they be able to triple their salary, but not us? And every time I talk to them, oh, they say, oh, we don't make enough. 300 is nothing. It's just still so difficult to live in the Bay Areas. But I'm making 4,000, so I probably live in the box or in the garage, right? So they make 300, they say it's not enough. I'm making 4,000, what's it gonna give me? They got a lot of stuff. So that's why this is important. Who gonna fight for our salary? And then if you've been step increase, that's another thing that we've been talking about for the past 20 years. We keep bringing it up. I think back in the 90s, late 90s, that's the last time that we have step increase. They took that away. Even APC, CSU EU, everybody, we trying to fight for the past 20 years. We got nothing. We're talking to the wall. They're not interested to give it to us. But you guys are smart. CSU EU is smart. You have somebody that did not stop fighting with the chancellor office. They bring it to Sacramento. So they are still in progress for the AB 1231. Anybody heard of that before? Everybody should raise your hand. Oh my God, this is your 5% increase, step increase that we've been fighting for 2 decades. Right? Once they pass a law for this, you will get 5% on top of your GSI every year. So you really appreciate those people that trying to fight for that. And then and back then, about in March or April, that 3 or 4 months ago, they were asking you to write a support letter. I'm not sure how many of you are doing that. Make sure you pay attention to that. And this is a shout out that I want to give it to is Peter and Don, because they are the one that went to Sacramento and lobby for all of you and me and everyone that work in the CSU systems. They do not get paid for doing that. They do in their own times. So you don't know how important a lot of work that the union do in behind the scenes. And who are we? The union is any one of you. Any one of you that, like me, at first, when I started East Bay, I said, what the heck is union? Why do we need to join? Why do we need to do this? I only gonna be here for 2 years. I'm out of here because the pay is suck. I do not want to work for the CSU. But guess what? 25 years later, I'm still here. It still sucks. But my passion's in students. So I say I cannot give up my passion because the salaries suck. So I step up. That's why I become a steward. I gonna educate people why it's important that for us to work together. So that's why I'm here. If you see that something that you do not like, let's step up and then educate all of us why it's not working, give us example, then we work together. So your memberships, if you haven't joined yet, please complete that. You could save $10 or $20, but guess what? During the past 2 negotiations, I'm not sure that you know this or not, CSU EU always want to increase our contribution to your retirement, your health care. So today is the new employee orientations. I'm not sure anybody new today coming from that. Anybody start new at East Bay? Guess what they have to pay right now for CalPERT? It's 7.5%. For those of us start here in the tier 1, you're only paying 5%. So guess what? CSU, you want to push that number up to contribute more. I think the magic number is 7%. So if you could save your $10 in your membership, you're going to increase 2% in your retirement plan and maybe more in your health benefits. At the end of the day, we're not saving. All of us are going to lose. So please, if you haven't done it, fill up your membership, please do so. And then that's why I like to work with Diego. And then on the statewide level, APC and CSU EU always want to work together with some, like your salary, to protect the salary benefits and retirements. There are things that we might disagree, but when it comes to money, we never disagree. We need to work together and get that triple raise, right? So, okay, that's all I got. If you anybody have any questions, because I don't want to take too much time, I could stand here and talk forever. I don't think you want to just hear from me. You have 2 more guests, so I'm going to pass this back to Diego. And you see me on campus. I've been walking all over the campus all the times. If you have any questions, anything, input, suggestions, please feel free to talk to me. And my office is in the SA building, 2300. So I'm open to any question and anybody want to come talk to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. Part of that unity involves getting active on this campus. And today we took a bold step and we actually passed out shirts for every participant here today. And there's going to be an email that comes out one day that gives you an advance notice to wear your shirts. We're going to need you to come out and support our activities as a union. Precisely for what Sam mentioned, the steps. I think maybe Rocky can clarify, but the last update that I got was that the bill was on hold at the Senate. So I'm not sure. I tried to get an update, but the documentation that I had as of July 1st said that it's on hold. We're going to need a rally. We're going to need to contact our legislators, our senators, to help move that along. So it's important that everyone here, all the administrators, all your bosses, see you wearing your shirts, and we'll coordinate it so that we can all wear them together, and it'll send a message. Believe it or not, we need to join together with other unions like APC and the Teamsters that are here as well, and the faculty. So thank you for being here today, and make sure that you get a shirt. Our next guest, I don't know where Nick is. Where's Nick? Oh, there he is Nick Wirtz. He's our labor relations representative, and he has some very important updates. Please welcome Nick Wirtz.
Updates? What am I supposed to say? It's good to see everybody out. It's a great day for a picnic. I think the last 3 years we've been having to tolerate the heat. Today is much more pleasurable. And I hope everybody is enjoying their food and their event. I wanted to talk just real briefly about a Supreme Court decision that Diego mentioned briefly, but also about what unions are, what unions mean, what unions mean for the average worker, and what they mean for us, right? When we talk in our flyers, in our messages, and as a union, we often talk about fighting, right? We're fighting for our rights. We're fighting for justice. We're fighting for fair pay, right? And fighting assumes an adversary, right? There's someone on the other side of that. You could say it's a person. You could say it's injustice. But some things are very obvious and some things are not. It's obvious that we fight every day with our managers to make sure they do the right thing. We fight with the campus to make sure they do the right thing. We fight with the chancellor's office to make sure they do the right thing. We fight with the state legislature to make sure they do the right thing. And we fight with the governor to make sure that he or she does the right thing. Some of those may be very readily apparent to the average member, and some not. Some may never even realize that we're up in Sacramento working on bills, like Sam mentioned, the step salary bill, working on things like getting them to stop contracting out work, stop privatization of the CSU. But we have other adversaries that are not so apparent, right? That we don't deal with on a day-to-day basis, like the legislature and the CSU system. And those folks are ideologically opposed to unions even existing, right? And there are well-funded groups out there, usually funded by big corporations and companies, that just don't want unions to exist at all, even if they're in the public sector, right? A union in the public sector means a union somewhere, and they don't want it. So they've used their well-funded bank accounts to bring court case after court case after court case through the courts to challenge our power, to weaken us, to make sure that we don't have the bargaining power and the strength that we have, right? How many people have heard about the recent Supreme Court decision named Janus? A couple hands, a few hands, okay. So you may be surprised to know that just being here at this picnic or being a member of CSUEU, now the court considers that a political activity, right? It's a stretch, right? But in kind of a convoluted argument, they've overturned a 40-year precedent which says that if someone is working at a place like CSU East Bay and they're benefiting from the contract and they can hold the union legally accountable to represent them, that is to say they're getting all the benefits and all the representation, the precedent said they had to pay the cost of that representation, right? They may not like it, but sometimes I don't like paying taxes, but I get the benefit of driving down the road that was funded by taxpayer money. All right, so they overturned that precedent. They said no more fair share fees. Right? It's an entirely political move to starve the unions, to try to drain their bank accounts, to say, hey, what's one way we can weaken them, right? And they did it. So now we're, a week or two into this new environment. The good news is that most workers in this country are pro-union, right? And they are going to support their union whether they have to by law or not. If you look at our neighbors in Nevada, where union membership is not mandatory, the culinary workers, for instance, who work in all the restaurants and the hotels in Vegas and Reno, 96 out of 100 workers are in the union, right? 96%, right? That's a strong union culture. People understand what the union is, what it does for them, how that they're way better off, that they've seen their benefits and their wages rise as they've unionized more and more. And so it's going to take more than just a Supreme Court decision or a law to take away our power, right? Because if you look at the signs over at the sign-in sheet, what is power? It's unity, right? So what we need to make sure as we move forward in this post-Janus decision world is that we stick together, we support each other, we work through our difficulties. We make sure that we're supporting each other, and supporting each other means being a member. It means paying your dues. It means making sure that we have the resources to be able to advocate for ourselves and for each other. We may have to change a few things, right? Every year we do a lunch like this, twice a year. Christmas time and in the summer. It's nice to do. It's nice to have everybody out, to have some fun. Maybe the money is not there in the future, right? That depends on our members, right? If they stay members, if we get new members signing up. So maybe this doesn't happen next year. But I'm willing to bet that almost everyone here would say they'd rather make sure that we protect our pension than have a picnic in July. That we make sure that we do something like stop parking increases like they tried to do last year during contract bargaining than have a picnic in July. Or that we actually get a decent wage increase every year rather than get a picnic in July. Right? So I don't know if you think back, if you look at CSU's original proposal in contract bargaining last time, they were talking about a 1% for just a portion of our members. Right? We fought back. We got them up to 3% a year. Right? So it's really going to take everybody getting involved, supporting each other, being a member. As Sam said, we need to stick together, and we can weather the storm. Right? Like I said, it's going to take more than a Supreme Court decision to weaken us. The only thing that will weaken us is ourselves, right? And our unwillingness to stick together. I'm going to hand it over now to Rocky. I don't know if anybody has seen the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Steve Martin, John Candy. Rocky had a little bit of that experience this morning, but she made it. She's here, all the way from Southern California. So give it up for Rocky.
Thank you all for having me here. I always enjoy coming to this campus, to meeting all of your chapter members, because you've all been really great, warm, and welcoming. Plus, I just love the layout of your campus. It's hard to get lost here. I am severely directionally challenged, so when I find a spot that I can not get lost in, I'm thrilled to death. So, the State of the Union. I'm going to give a little bit of information, and then I'm going to do a little bit of history here, just to follow up on what Sam and Nick said. So we had our elections last weekend. The 4 executive officers are in place. Your bargaining unit chairs and vice chairs have been voted in. And then you have your members or your council, which are 6 members for each one of the bargaining units, 2, 5, 7, and 9. So this is the first time in a long time that we've had full council members. And it's really important that we have full councils because they're the ones that go back to all of you and to tell you what it is that we're working on. So now we're full bore. We've got, knock on wood, hopefully that within a couple of days, our contract will be sent to the printer so we can actually have hard copies. I talked to headquarters this morning, and we just need to get the signature page from the CO, and then we're off and running to get it printed so everybody can have a hard copy. So that's really important. But this thing with Janice, or for all of us to be members, to re-sign up, if you haven't done it already, to go online and do that, it's really important because I've been on my campus, I'm working on my 26th year there. And I can remember when our wages, our salary increases were tied to the budget. These last 2 contracts that I worked on or that I was a part of is the first time that we've ever had guaranteed salary increases. Do I believe that in 2020 they're going to try to take that away? Yes, I do. But they're going to be looking at the numbers. And they have no qualms about calling out at the Board of Trustees meeting a union telling them that they don't have the numbers. They did that with CFA a couple years ago, stating that, hey, you don't have enough members, so why should we listen to you? They did the same thing. I can remember being at Cal State LA watching bargaining, and those people from the CO turned around and said, you don't have the numbers. Why should we give you a pay increase? Everybody's happy. We don't see any activists running around. So why should we give you any salaries? And that's part of just before they started doing the furloughs. For those of us that have been around, we recall the furloughs that 1 year where we had 10% of our salary cut. And they gave us 2 days off, thinking that was a big deal. But a good many of us suffered for that. They can do that again. We could have another wasteland of 7 years and no salary increases. Because they were already talking at the Board of Trustees, looking around and saying, oh, our staff are wonderful. We're so happy to give them a salary increase. But if our budget has to suffer, we're looking to downsize the staff. So it's really, if you guys have never live streamed the Board of Trustees, I suggest you do, because it's very interesting how they give left-handed compliments and then want to take stuff away from us. So the State of the Union for us is collectively. All of us being together. This last contract was wonderful with the rallies, wearing shirts when we were told we were going to be on campus. The other campuses that didn't have bargaining wore the shirts on the same day so that there were solidarity days. And so what Diego suggested about AB 1231, if you need to wear your shirt, wear your shirt. Because I'll tell you something, your campus will pick up the phone and call the chancellor's office and go, what the hey? What's going on? In other campuses, I know my campus, we have our own shirts that we will put on. And some of us will put these on that we got. when the call comes, because it's really important, because that frightens them when they see us. But if they don't see the numbers, they say, hey, everybody's happy. Everybody's satisfied with what they're getting. Now I'm going to touch on something that Sam said regarding benefits. They told us they weren't going to touch our benefits this current contract, but they're eyeballing it for the next contract, for 2020. Not just our retirement, but also our health benefits, which means that they want to get us like civil service, which is the 2080 plan. Right now we're on the 9100 plan. And if you're kind of wondering, what does that mean in the formulas? I'm going to use myself and my sister as example. She's civil service. They're on the 2080 plan. She has Kaiser Insurance, same plan that I do, because we're both with CalPERS. But I'm CSUEU. Our plan is 9100. I pay for Kaiser $0. Nothing. Comes out of my paycheck for Kaiser. However, my sister, same plan. I don't have any dependents. She has no dependents. She pays $129 a month for her Kaiser plan. So if you think about that, can you afford to start dishing out more money? If you have no dependents, maybe that's not too bad for you. But if you have a family and you're paying $300 plus or more, that's going to hurt. So even if they gave you a 1% pay increase, you're still in decline. You're not getting anything because they will come after our benefits because we're considered an outlier because of that. They want to put us in line with civil service and make us pay more. So part of the State of the Union is we all stay together. We all don't want to dish out any more money than we have to because they sure as heck aren't paying us a lot. And they count on us to take care of the students, to take care of the administration, and of course to take care of the faculty. Some of us love our faculty. I love my faculty. I want to beat them up sometimes, but I love my faculty. But they don't want to pay us for that. They expect us to work for free or close to free. And they don't treat us with respect a lot of times. At the bargaining table, they were very disrespectful towards us. They were very dismissive towards our members until you all started rocking it, no matter where we went. And when the Vice Chancellor for Human Resources, Melissa Bard, showed up at San Jose, their members turned around and they had duct tape across their backs with these shirts on, basically stating, bring on the strike. And that's when we started making movement. So again, it's because we all stood together, all 23 campuses and the Chancellor's office. So can you imagine the Chancellor's office having a rally? They're working right there with all the administrators. There are no students. And they face a lot of intimidation, but they were out there. We proved to them that we are a strong union and that we could get things done, and we weren't willing to kowtow to them. So I'm really grateful that all of you were active. And as long as we continue to be in solidarity together, not just CSUEU, but also with the other unions, SCTC, APC, SUPA, the doctors, which is Unit 1, if we're all together, they can't make a move without us, to be honest with you. Because when we would have rallies and they'd see APC out there, they would see CFA out there, SUPA not so much because they had to maintain order. A couple of times I saw on campuses a doctor or two, which kind of surprised me. And that they took notice. They really did. So it's really important that we all stay in unity and solidarity together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rocky. Very inspiring. Rocky put in a lot of work to get our contract together, and she, I'm thankful for the 3%. In fact, in your next check, you're going to see a 3% bump. People have been, yeah. Thank you. We took a part of that because we had bargaining here on our campus, and we were rallying together. Can you imagine, again, I'm trying to have you imagine things here, APC joining us in a rally to get better contracts. I mean, that's what Unity is all about. We're gonna be calling on you for that support. You guys deserve it. Because I'm not the union. You guys are the union. We're all the union. And on that note, I wanted to invite a union member, Catherine, who has a suggestion about unifying and solidarity regarding the shirts.
I was going to have Diego email that, but this shirt does not leave my chair except for when I'm wearing it. It is hung over my chair every single day. The only time it's not is if I'm wearing it or I take it home to wash it. Then it goes right back on my chair. That way they can see it on your chair, whether you're in your office or not. And of course, you have it handy whenever they say we're going to have an event and you can put it on. My physical chair that I sit on at my desk. Yes, I don't put it on my actual department chair. But that's an idea too. I don't know. I might be able to try that.
Thank you very much for that suggestion.
I think we need to wear it at convocation. What do you guys think? Everybody.
Yep. Yeah, convocation. Remember, this union is all of you. We all benefit from what we fight for. So, yeah, thank you for those suggestions. I want to give thanks to Fernando. Did you guys enjoy the food? Fernando and Laura, thank you so much for all your help. And, yeah. And the volunteers, all the volunteers that helped set up the table, please raise your hand. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So at this time, I think we have, this is the conclusion of our meeting. But as Nick touched on, the format for these meetings are going to be a little different because of Janice and the decision that the Supreme Court made, unfortunately. But we're going to be sending out more and more information. So if you can do me a favor, if you're not getting the email blasts that we sent out at a chapter level or from headquarters, please let us know. You can let Mary know, any of the volunteers. You can let me know, send me an email, or come up today and we'll take your information down to make sure that you guys get the email blast. So in conclusion, let's go ahead and thank all our guests and thank each other for the support. Looking forward to, yeah, Maisha. Thank you. Thanks.